Queensland Police are gearing up to launch this massive blitz on the Gold Coast tomorrow, bringing in specialist staff to target high-risk crime.
To discuss all this, we're joined now by criminologist and former detective Dr Terry Goldsworthy, who joins us from the Gold Coast. Good morning to you, Terry. What do we know so far about this operation?
Yeah, well, the Queensland Police are running Operation Whiskey Legion. What we know is it's previously run in Logan and Ipswich, and they've arrested about 420 offenders on 900 charges. So basically the operation will be targeting transport hubs, shopping centres and crime hotspots. So it's what we call a saturation policing operation, where police surge into an area and attempt to reduce crime while they're present. So I mean, these operations are useful, but of course the problem is that police are only there for a 10-day period and then they withdraw. So, you know, how effective it will be is up for debate in reality.
So just to make it clear, the Gold Coast and Logan, you were saying, are they the only areas that will be targeted?
Yeah, the Gold Coast in this iteration of the operation has previously been up in Logan and Ipswich. So we've got 10 days of policing taking place here on the Gold Coast, where they'll be targeting those areas, actioning suspect files, doing RBTs, street checks and all those type of things in an attempt to reduce crime.
What's the strategy here, Terry? Because if you're telling everybody we're going to be out in force for the next 10 days, the people who are, you know, the troublemakers, I suppose, are they just going to think, well, I might just lay low for 10 days and I'll come out after that? Or are they hopeful that by telegraphing it, you know, people will make long-term change?
Yeah, look, you raise a very good point. I asked the same question myself when I saw the media releases coming out and the politicians and the acting commissioner telling everyone that this operation was taking place. It's simply nonsensical. I mean, if you're going to surge police resources into a location to deal with crime, hotspots, etc., you're probably well advised not to warn the criminals you're coming, because they simply won't be there. Yeah. You know, most criminals aren't dumb, despite what we might think. They will simply lay low for the 10-day period till they know it's clear and then come back out. So I think it is problematic, but we've got a government under a lot of pressure up here in terms of crime. Crime's at a 20-year high, the crime rate. The Gold Coast has seen substantial rises, and things like robberies have gone up 14%, etc. So the government's under pressure. They're putting the acting commissioner under pressure, and as a result, you see these kind of media circuses go on that, in reality, I think, affect operational policing decisions.
It's an election year, right? Yeah. In your opinion, Terry, what more needs to be done just to get on top of this sort of crime wave in the southeast?
Well, certainly things they need to do is, you know, look at the long-term strategies they've got. You know, putting police in a place for 10 days is like putting your finger in a hole in a boat that's leaking, and when you pull out, the water's going to come back in. We know internally the police has a number of problems. There's less police on the street now than there were a year ago, yet crime is going up. So, you know, it's just a vicious circle that police won't be able to deal with the crime that's getting reported. That should never have been allowed to occur, but it has. We know that at least 50% of police in their own internal survey that came out early this year indicated they wanted to leave their position in the next 2 years. So there's major issues within the police internally. I've heard some reporting in the media that the acting commissioner will become the commissioner. I would have thought the government may have looked outside of the service for some leadership to bring in some fresh blood. I think that's going to be problematic. In terms of crime, you know, youth offenders are still very problematic. We have that hardcore of 480 or so serious repeat offenders. We continually see the bail decisions being poorly made and the offenders coming back out to reoffend. Things like that need to be fixed up to start making any kind of dent in these crime issues that we have up here.
Terry Goldsworthy, thanks so much for your time.
Experts will gather in Melbourne this week to discuss protections for children